Folks, this is a very special edition of Tech Drive. I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, Kyle Schasberger. My guest today does not need any formal introduction, but I'm going to give it to him anyways. A two-time All-American at Louisiana Tech, #1 overall pick, four-time Super Bowl winning quarterback with the Steelers, Super Bowl MVP, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Louisiana Tech Sports Hall of Famer, NFL Sunday's most beloved sports personality for so long. The Blonde Bomber, Terry Bradshaw, is with us.
Hey, Kyle.
Terry, thanks,
man. Thanks for having me.
No, we appreciate you so much. I don't think there's any more of a tranquil, peaceful setting than us being here in Shoedrint. You're in town for the Bradshaw Brooks golf tournament, a spectacular event after a brief hiatus post-COVID. Right. But how's it feel? What kind of emotions are attached to being back in northern Louisiana?
This is other than going home, this is home. I can't wait to get over here. I don't get over here enough because obviously I'm married and I have jobs that I have to do, and it's hard to get over here. But every time I'm here, it's like like falling in love all over again. You know, so many great friends here, the Davisons. You know, all the Davisons. Steve, Todd, babysat them when I was going to school here, and now. Well, Steve's done nice for himself, and it's just been, of course, Louisiana Tech football, Louisiana Tech sports, Louisiana Tech just in general. So I love my school, and wish I've told my wife this so many times, Kyle. I said if I were a billionaire, I wouldn't be a billionaire because I'd give so much of it here. I'd give it to the school. That's how much I love it. It just feels good, and it's kind of a safe haven for me. I can go over here. Everybody knows me. You know, it's hey Terry, how you doing? It's comfortable. You know, Sam Burns. I just saw Sam out there. Hey man, how's it going? Yeah, it's just everybody's friendly. Everybody's family, and it's just special, man. And I wish everybody felt that way about their school like I do. I know a lot don't, but every time I can promote the school on television without getting in trouble, because once you stray off, they'll in your ear call you back in, you know. But yeah, Kyle, this is special for me.
Speaking of straying off, did you ever hear from the pig farmer again? That reaction from Michael Strahan was priceless.
You know, I didn't even finish what I was my point. I never even got to my point. 2 or 3 times a year, I try to throw some kind of farm story in, just because they just roll their eyes and they have no idea what I'm doing. And the pig thing, calling Andy Reid, texting Andy Reid, I thought I was just so cute.
It was spectacular. I think that epitomized everything about Terry Bradshaw, who you are, the charm, the wit. You never know what he's going to say, but the entertainment value is still very much.
Well, it's television.
Yeah.
It's television, and I watch. I don't watch I don't watch a lot of talk shows, sports shows, but when I do, I'm sitting there going, "Really? Can we get off the stats? Can we move on to something?" You know, it drives me nuts. So I don't like to use stats unless they really, really emphasize a point. I don't fool with them that much because. Shows like we have, it's an opinionated show to some degree. But when I was hired by David Hill, the head of Fox Sports, it was Fox Sport, he hired me just off of television, seeing me walk across the camera, and I was using some little toy soldiers, and I was making a point, and I was setting them all up, and he saw, hey, that's the guy I want doing our show. So he wanted entertainment, and you know, I have backed off more and more, because when you bring on big personalities, sometimes too big personalities is too much. And I'm smart enough to know that, and I'll back off. So I like to laugh, and I like to listen to what they say, because a lot of times what they're saying, especially Gronk got hooked up on one of those names the other day that I get messed up on all the time. And he went to Uka, and we just all coughed along. We started laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. It was hilarious. And we even go to a commercial break. He's still trying to get that name out, and he never got it out. It was beyond funny. But that's television. I'm inviting you in, and then I'm blessed that you are dialing us up to watch us. You know, I appreciate that, and I do want to entertain them. I want to talk football. Yeah, I got to do that, but I would much rather, tell a few jokes and stories and laugh and listen to these. Listen to all of them. I'll give you a real quick story, Kyle. I know you got a lot of questions, but we were doing a deal when Jimmy Johnson was with us, and Jimmy said something, and Jimmy thought that was just about the funniest thing he'd ever said. So he started laughing, and so Mike and we started laughing at Jimmy laughing at Jimmy. And then Mike added on to Jimmy's laughter, and it got even funnier. And now we're all laughing. Then it was my turn to speak, and I added on, and now we're all three of us are just losing it on the set. And it was Howie's turn to talk, and Howie turned and looked at the camera, and Howie goes, the outside linebacker Will Johnson for Cincinnati, and he's out today. He hurt his ankle in pregame warmup, and Butch Johnson, the backup, will be taking his place today. And we went to a commercial. And I turned and looked at Howie, and I'm staring at him. He says, what? And I said, you can't help it, can you? He said, what are you talking about? I said, you just can't help it, can you? He said, can't help what? I said, you're boring. And he was. At that moment, it wasn't the time to talk about a linebacker. Who cared he had a burst?
He was sometimes, and really often, more the serious guy. Like, he took it too serious. And you can only hit people.
He's definitely serious.
You can only hit people over the head so much with numbers, to your point about entertaining.
Yeah.
And I'm fascinated by all this because, I am partly in many ways a personality who's trying to be a mouthpiece, but to entertain and to grab people and pull them in and tell stories. And, I think that's what people love about you. You don't take life too seriously. And there's an endearing quality to that.
There is. I do take life serious, but I would rather entertain you than talk football. That's why I do corporate speeches. That's my hour and 15 minutes to entertain, and I absolutely love it. It's just me up there when I'm performing in Branson. It's me up there for 2 hours, and I get to entertain. I get to say what I want to say, make fun of who I want to make fun of, even those in the audience. And that's just kind of my calling. That's how God made me. And, you get criticized for it, but that's all right. That's part of it.
Yeah. Your family's also collaborated on a cookbook, which I have so many questions, and we'll get to that. And I want to circle back to the fixture that you have become on that Fox NFL Sunday, desk, and entertaining 4.4 million or more viewers each and every Sunday that it is. But I want to drill down a little more deeply on the people and why it is that you have continued to be such an ambassador for this area. The Davison family, you mentioned Steve, so instrumental behind the brand and the health of the university, the community, the entire family, all of northern Louisiana. Steve, a horsing enthusiast, much like yourself. I know you're raising, horses, and you're in that business as well. And Steve even, has competed and had horses run in the Kentucky Derby, if folks aren't as much aware. But you are such a steward of the state T and the region. What is it that continues to pull on the heartstrings of Terry Bradshaw in this area?
Well, I grew up in Shreveport, but I spent my time in Hall Summit, Louisiana on the farm with my grandparents because that's where I was happiest. And I've always had a farm ever since I could afford one. I like genuine people. I mean, look, Kyle, I can meet 20 people and walk down and shake their hands, and I can pretty much pick, who I'm going to enjoy talking to as opposed, those that I'm not. I know I like good, honest people. I like people that are successful, like being around them so I can learn from them. But if they're not nice people and if they don't treat people, I don't have anything for them. And when I came here, this school had about 5,000 students when I came here, and it was a country school. It's a country area. I mean, you pull in today and look outside here, all the pine trees, the horses are out front. I mean, it was the country surroundings that I loved. The people that recruited me here, great people. The coaches were awesome people. Stayed in touch with them their entire life until they passed away. My friendships, my best friendships are all here. They're not in Shreveport and they're not in Dallas. My best friend's my wife and my brothers and my family. Drake Mills is a dear friend of mine. Steve and I are extremely close, but they're good people. And I love that about Ruston and Louisiana Tech. The teachers I had, it was a personal thing. And it was so comfortable. And I'm not someone that you scream and holler at me and you're going to lose me. But if you love on me, you got me forever. And that's what I got. That's what I got from the area that I grew up. I was loved on by my family, my grandparents, and all my best friends are all my close friends. And there's probably 10. They're all the same way. They're kind, loving people, giving people. And that's what you got here. You're going to find that out being here. You're going to love this place. I don't understand why anybody who ends up coming here would want to go somewhere else for another job. You know, that's what this place is. It sucks you in, and you're so glad that it did.
Well, Terry, you and I just met, and you had a brief synopsis of what it is I'm doing. I just moved here 3.5, 4 months ago. And look, this is my dream job. This is everything I've worked my entire life for, to be the voice of a Division I institution, calling football, men's basketball, baseball, and being a steward as well of a powerful brand that people care about. Never knew it would be Louisiana Tech, but in being here and experiencing
this
Ruston,
is what you always,
the people.
Is this what you always wanted?
This is what I've always wanted. And the way the people wrap their arms around you and
welcome
make you their own. I mean, it's been incredible. You can't put any dollar sign or value on any of it.
And you're going to find it here. You're going to find your niche. This at Squire Creek. I had breakfast there this morning, about 9 o'clock, I guess. And it's for all those beautiful golf course, and it's a subdivision built around it. In there, saying hello to friends that are walking in that didn't know I was here, and then hollering at them and
taking selfies.
Yeah, oh, it's so much fun, man. You're gonna love it here. I know that.
You've maintained these strong connections with the people and the local economy. Origin Bank, you mentioned Drake Mills, CEO, president.
Origin Bank.
Yeah, Origin Bank, that connection. You've been a spokesman. You mentioned corporate speeches.
Right.
Origin Bank is one of those that really tugs on you in a special way. Originally community bank. I mean, you've been a connoisseur, a promoter of everything it is that Origin Bank has been since the beginning.
Yeah, well, the fun thing I had with Origin Bank, I watched them grow.
Yeah.
You know, and now, boom, they 60-something banks, and I like when I do what they call it, FaceTime. What do you call it?
FaceTime is an incredible feature. Living away from my daughter, that has been a godsend to be able to talk to her every night through that. But yes, you FaceTime.
But I'll do that, and I'll tell my wife, hey, turn me on, I want to talk to everybody. And I always say, and Origin Bank, this conversation is sponsored by Origin Bank, the great Drake Mills and all the wonderful people. 62 banks and growing with a ATM in Arkansas. And I have the best time doing that. You know, it's silly, but I'm always telling, and we're not in Arkansas. Say, and an ATM in Arkansas.
That's incredible. Such significant, powerful, impactful relationships that you continue to harbor, to harvest each and every day. Speaks to the kind of man you are, character, the family, but too, you know, going to those friends or diving deeper into the friendships. One of those guys who you've co-partnered with the golf tournament here in Shoot is Kix Brooks. Tell me about Kix and what's it like being able to bump shoulders with him again.
Oh, I love Kix. Kix is, you know, you're going to sit down with Kix, you talk to Kix, you're going to love it. He's great, man. He's a superstar country western singer, and just a great guy. You know, he called me about 6 weeks ago. I'd just gotten in from Branson. I'd been up there doing some shows. He says, what are you doing Friday night? And I said, well, I just got home. I said, let me look. And then I looked on the calendar. I said, I'm not doing anything. What you got going on? He said, we're performing at WinStar Casino, giant casino, largest casino in the world. And in Thackerville, Oklahoma, of all places. I used to have a ranch right behind it. And I sold it 3 years ago. And he said, we're doing a show there at Windstar. Would you come on and sing that Toby Keith song? Don't Let the Old Man In. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah. I said, yeah, I'll come sing it. And went up there, drove up, giant stage, 10,000 seats, to rehearse. I went, oh, I think I've got a little bit out of my raise in here. And then so I rehearsed with the band and got the key that we're in, and came back for the show that night. When they called me on, I was nervous because I'm right on the Texas line, and Steelers, Cowboys, and I'm 77 now. There's still some people that aren't really happy with me. so I said, Kicks, I don't know, man. They're going to boo me when I go out there. He said, they're not going to boo you. I said, Kicks, I'm telling you, you don't realize how this Cowboy fan, I'm going to get booed. He said, he said, you're not going to get booed. And he said, and if they do boo, who cares? When you start singing, they're going to shut up because they don't know how good a singer you are. I said, I appreciate that, man. But so he said, ladies and gentlemen, it's this guy. I've been bringing him up to the stage right now. I don't even need to tell you who he is. Walk out here. And I walked out and the place went crazy. And I went, oh, wow. This is cool. And it was shocking. And I started singing this song. It's a Toby Keith song. Toby and I were really good friends. And he wrote this song for Clint Eastwood, Don't Let the Old Man In, for the movie. And it's the last song he sang before he died. And I had it on YouTube or something. And I got the lyrics, and I learned the song. And I started singing it. It's the last song. It's the next to last song I sing in my show, Don't Let the Old Man In. And so I started singing that song, and the sound system was amazing. Nothing like I ever had where I sing. I was like, God, man, your voice is big. I'm like, you can hear it. I'm like, man, I just sung. I just shelled it on down, man. I mean, I sung the heck out of it. Places looking. I looked down on the row, and just all women down there, and they were crying. I went, wow, I'm doing a good job.
Yes, you were. You were.
But that's Kicks. And, it's for him to do that and have trust in me to be able to do that was special for me.
Yeah, and some may not know, especially the younger, audience, consumers of this product, this podcast, might not know the musical chops that you actually have. What influence did Kicks have in maybe providing critiques or feedback or helping to mold you?
None.
None? Good. You're your own man.
Yeah, none. I am a Brooks and Dunn fan. Always have been. I sing a lot of their songs. But no, he plays the harmonica, he plays the guitar, he's a great singer. And Ronnie's right behind me when I'm singing this song. And Ronnie Dunn, pretty amazing singer. And so there's a little bit of, there was a little bit of nerves there because I want to do a good job because he's such a great vocalist. But as far as inspiring me, yes. Giving me pointers, no, because I honestly never thought I'd sing with Brooks and Dunn. So it was the highlight of my singing career. What's the second highlight? The other highlight was singing with Jake Hess, the lead singer for the Statesman Quartet. That was always a dream of mine. I actually did an album with him.
That's so cool.
That was a thrill.
That's amazing. Let's eat, because the Bradshaw Family Cookbook landed on USA Today's bestseller list within a week. I mean, within a week, Terry, September 16th release. What inspired the project? And was your wife, Tammy, was she the brainchild?
No, she wasn't. Got a call. Well, maybe she was. Let me think. It's been a while. It took over 2 years to do it. 2 years. So it started. I think my agent
put the idea?
Yeah. He says, have you ever thought about doing a cookbook? Where'd that come from? And I said, no cookbook. And he said, well, there's some people that are willing to pay you a large amount of money. How much? How much money are we talking about? And I said, Yeah, I said, it's going to be, what's going to be called? They said, well, they wanted to call it the Bradshaw Family Cookbook. Get all your family involved and get all these recipes. And I said, well, all right, let me go to the girls. And so this is funny. I enjoyed the cookbook. So I think it started with Ira, my agent, took it to the family, and um, Lacey was all in because Noah, her husband, is an award-winning chef. They're all in. Um, Rachel, our oldest, was all in. And then the baby, she didn't want anything to do with it. I don't have time. I got a job. I got a baby, my little girl, and she's full. And I'm not going to be able to put the time in, the effort that's necessary. So count me out. I went, oh man, that may kill the deal. So I called Ira back and I said, everybody's in but Aaron. He said, let me go back to them. And they said, okay, we've got at least the other two girls and Tammy. And I said, yeah. He said, okay, it's on. So we did the cookbook. It's 100 recipes. All right, so we get all these recipes, and I said I don't have a lot of recipes because people in the South don't. You learn it from your grandparents and their grandparents, and it's you throw a little of this and a little of that, and then stir it, hit then and then cook it at such and such, and poof, there it is. Amazing cake, amazing spaghetti, amazing steak, chicken, shrimp, lobster, uh,
It's a lot of
collard green. There's no 1/4 this one. So I said, I don't know how we're going to do this.
acapella, ad libbing,
Yes,
just
exactly.
concocting whatever.
And so
Yeah.
the girls, I think I came up with 10. I forgot my grandmother's cat head biscuits. And I forgot cat head biscuits because I can make cat head biscuits. And it never crossed my mind, cat head biscuits. And my wife thought that cat head biscuits was.
Does it really have a cat? Is it a cat head?
No,
You need
no,
to explain.
it's called cat heads because the biscuits are the size of a cat's head. And my grandmother made them, and she'd use her knuckles. And every morning at 5 a.m., my grandmother made biscuits. Every morning, from my grandfather. My grandfather drank his coffee out of a saucer. All right, and I just that all comes so clear to me. And this will be a fun book. But I forgot cat head biscuits. But Tammy's mother was a great cook. She's from Missouri, so they brought all that in. Noah's from Hawaii, so we got all of that. And then Lacey's, they have a meat shop, and so we had no problem getting all of this together. But it took 2 years. Now the fun part about the cookbook, and we've got a little coach's corner, and each one of them is a coach's corner. Makes it a little personal.
Sure.
And so that makes it unique, and it's a beautiful book. But the fun part about the cookbook, the big tall guy, my son-in-law you saw earlier, I called him one day. He's real gullible. And I said, golly, Scott, I said, we got our first check today on the book. That's $200,000. And I said, since you weren't in it, I said, 3 into 200,000, what is that? That's what, 70,000, 69,000. I said, so Tammy and I, we just gave our portion to the other two girls. He went, what? I said, yeah. I said, it's 200,000. That's just the first of 5 installments. He went, 5 installments? You got $1 million? Well, it's 200 now and 200 later. It's all lies. This whole thing's made up. And he's just sitting over there, and he is steaming because he's a horse trainer. They need every penny they can get. And he goes, she didn't tell me that there was money involved. I said, do you think I'm going to spend 2 years of my life writing a book and I'm not going to get paid for it? Everything I do, Scott, I'm going to get paid for it. That's why I just didn't understand. He said, but he got off the phone, and then he's jacking with Aaron. They're butting heads. And so I never told him that it wasn't true until I got my second 200,000.
Incredible.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
And finally, he finally got it. Hey man, you get no $200,000. I said, no, it was 300.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Oh my God.
Terry Bradshaw. That's awesome.
So the book is family. We did a TV show called The Bradshaw Bunch. And the only reason I did TV show was so the girls could get an idea what it's like to be in front of a TV camera. You know,
Yeah.
I'm in front of them my whole life.
Sure.
And so I said, they'll enjoy this, you know. And they didn't.
Yeah.
2 years was enough. You know, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, 3 months. Yeah, they'd had enough of that. My wife is a doctor. She's a radiologist. She's not into no nonsense like I am. There's nothing I won't do for laugh, to make you laugh. And so she didn't want any more. The kids didn't want. Only one that wanted to do it again was Rachel, but everybody else said no.
The comedy of that I appreciate you sharing and pulling back the curtain. The Bradshaw Family Cookbook.
Pulling back the curtain. That's a good line.
Thank you.
I like that. That's a good line. Open it up and there it is. Yeah,
there it is. Favorite recipes for game days, weekdays, and any day. So Noah, the award-winning chef,
right.
You said originally from Hawaii.
Right.
McKinney, Texas, he's got a spot, Ham's Meat Market.
Ham's Meat Market.
Okay, and then there's you're fusing Tammy's Missouri heritage, which you mentioned, plus the Louisiana.
Springfield. She's from Rogersville.
Okay. Louisiana Tech football plays in Springfield, Missouri, November 29th. Be heading up there for the Bulldogs and Bears to conclude the regular season.
Wow. What's the date?
November 29th.
Is that, you know what, now college football is on Tuesday night.
It's a Saturday. It is a Saturday. Oh. It is a Saturday.
Nighttime game?
2 o'clock, I think. Oh. It's an early game.
I'll be flying out.
Yeah, you'll be flying.
California.
But heading into that week, I do want to put out, you got a scheduled book signing where you are coming back.
What's that? November
25th.
Right.
A Tuesday night, Origin Bank, downtown, 3 to 5 o'clock. Now, folks have to pre-purchase their book experience at latexsports.com. GB is going to throw a link in the show notes on YouTube. You get a cookbook, digital photo of the signing, Terry Bradshaw Family Cookbook. You must go online, okay? There is a price for this. However, all the details will be available at latexsports.com. That's 3 to 5 p.m., Tuesday, November 25th. And you were breaking down the book. It sounds like a variety of different recipes. And that probably was the most challenging part, right? In trying to get all the different recipes because they're all handed down. But it is, I love the Coach's Corner thing. That's really unique to help follow. It's broken into categories from game day, Southern classics, grilling, professional chef creations, the heritage recipes. But there are desserts, right? We can find some desserts?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a dessert.
Okay, all right.
No, but I tell you what, my wife's got desserts. And the girls got desserts, you know. If this has chocolate in it or even chalk, starts with chalk, my wife is going to be behind the chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, she's a chocolate lover.
Rachel handled the famous gridiron 9-layer dip. Rachel, by the way, award-winning singer.
Yes.
Okay, but she's
songwriter.
Songwriter. She's the brains
and then
behind.
Gave it up.
And, yeah,
it's like, can I do this? Hit song. Oh, okay, through.
Well, hey, there's a respectable part of that, of at least doing it, throwing your name into the ring, putting in all the time and energy. But she can do a 9-layer dip, though, a gridiron dip. We do know
good.
that.
Yeah.
You
got my beans in there.
Well,
Bradshaw beans. Do you have in your notes?
I have spicy pork canoes.
That's not me.
Okay.
If it says my name on it, they just threw that in there.
All right, tell me. So the spicy pork canoes with cilantro sour cream, that has me salivating, but now you got me at the beans. Tell me about the beans.
Oh, the beans, man. Beans. I tell everybody about my beans because it's a family meal. Okay. All right. It's 3 beans. It's white, red, and black. Wash them off, put them in a dill. I do everything with my hands when I cook, and I mix it with my hands so I know I can feel. I know how far I got to go, what I got to add. I can do it with my fingers. Then I don't like to mix the beans too much after a couple of times because I don't want to break them down. But I mix the beans in, then I put all the onion in there you want. Chop it up, put the onion in there. If you like it hot, then I put onion and I put jalapeno and I put a little jalapeno juice in there. Okay, so I have to make 2. When I make the Bradshaw beans, I have to make 2 of them because my wife doesn't like them hot. So I make 1 small batch just for her.
What a guy! What a guy taking care of his wife.
And then after that, bell pepper. Chopped up bell pepper. Mix everything up. Then I take a pound of bacon and I cut it with scissors and put that in there. Mix it up. Then I get Baby Ray's, sweet Baby Ray's, man, sweet Baby
Mm-hmm.
Ray's. Oh, there's nothing better than baby. Oh, it's good stuff. And I put a whole, sometimes two in there, and I get it, mix it with barbecue sauce. Sometimes when nobody's looking, I put a little red hot in there too, just
Yes.
kind of give it a little,
Yes.
you know. And
Inject all of this into my veins.
then I mix it all up, and I get it where it's kind of soupy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want it dry because beans suck up the juice, and I get it really soupy. And I don't waste the Baby Ray's now. Put a little water in the bottle, shake it up, get it out, pour it on. Get it soupy. Cover it with foil, 400 degrees. Get it boiling. Then after it starts boiling, then back it down to 250 and just let it simmer, babe.
Oh.
Let it simmer 3 hours, whatever. Just check it. You check it. Then if I feel like it's not quite sloppy enough, more Baby Ray's. You know, don't mix a lot of water because that'll dilute the taste. More Baby Ray's and keep it nice and lolly, you know. And then just set it out there, man. And it's great tailgating. It's awesome. You can make as much you want. I'll put a pound of hamburger in there. If I'm cooking for a lot of people, 2 pounds of hamburger meat, and I cook it, and then I wash it, then I put the meat in. Oh, I'm making myself hungry here. I made it twice. 3 weeks ago, I made it 2 times in 1 week just to make it. I just like making it. Then I freeze it. You know.
Well, part of this cookbook experience, I think, is also, unveiling the importance, significance of the communal aspect of eating, the fellowship, the act of actually cooking, right? The joy that comes along with it and the gratification of seeing others consume it and then breaking bread, together, because food and family, as you've said, I think before, hand in hand, right?
Yeah. And holidays, I love it when my mother was alive, my grandmother was alive, and my aunts were alive. They'd all come to the ranch. And I love, and all houses ought to be built with the great room in the kitchen where everybody can see everybody. And I love and I like a big kitchen. The kitchen, we're building a house now and the kitchen's huge. That way a lot of people can get in there and move around and not bump into one another. But food and family, food brings family together. Yeah, hey, it's not a conversation on the phone that I don't have with my kids. It's food's not, Dad, let's have lunch. Dad, can you get together? We'll meet you at so-and-so. And I said, okay, so it's always food and family. I love the holidays. I absolutely love food. I like my family. I like my friends. I like the employees that work for me. I like them to come, bring their family. And everybody gets together. We play cards. We play dominoes.
And what's a good meal without a little bit of loudness and maybe some fighting, shouting, whatever? That's what makes it beautiful. And you're all there, like in the ring together.
Or some wine.
Yeah.
Or
help calm it down at the end.
Or some Bradshaw bourbon, Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, man, you got me thinking. Now I'm kind of floating back to the holidays. We're coming up on them too.
We are.
Now I'm never home on Thanksgiving, so Thanksgiving used to be when I was younger. Not anymore because I'm always working.
Sure.
So it's just kind of lost its flair. But Christmas now, you don't know this. My Christmas lights are already up. All my barns are decorated right now for Christmas. They pull in the wagon out. We put a wagon up in front of the office and decorate it. Yeah, I already got all the Christmas lights up. I love Christmas. My younger daughter's just like me. Erin, she's got her house lit up. Christmas.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we start singing Christmas songs, and it's fun.
Is there ever a time that's too early to hear Christmas music on the radio or
You know
elsewhere?
what? It's funny you should bring that up. I bet sometime in July.
Department stores.
Oh, my. So we're driving down the highway, Tammy and I, and all of a sudden she has it on her phone. She can put it through the radio. I don't know how to do that stuff. The next thing you know, I'm sitting there and I went, Silent Night. And I went, Christmas music? She said, yeah, I just want to hear some Christmas music in July. I got all the Christmas movies, all the greats, got them all. Mm-hmm. Got them taped on my television. Got every one of them. And
what's your favorite one?
Oh, Fifth Avenue. I love Fifth Avenue. I saw White Christmas so many times. I kind of got burnt out on White Christmas for some reason. Fifth Avenue is my favorite. Holiday Inn, Bing Crosby. I love Bing Crosby, Holiday Inn, um, Home Alone.
Yes,
Oh my
that's where I was
God,
going.
my Erin, she plays Home Alone every day. She can't get enough of Home Alone.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I guess those are kind of the, you know,
The staples.
yeah, those are kind of the basic movies.
I love Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon,
Oh my
Chevy
God.
Chase.
Oh, that's
Now that really encapsulates what the
that's
holidays
funny. Yeah, I
should be
forgot
about.
about that, but you're right.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, I love Christmas Vacation for
So
sure.
the book signing Tuesday, November 25th, scheduled in Ruston, Origin Bank, downtown, 3 to 5. Pre-purchase your experience at latexsports.com. We got to find a way to get these books available for purchase, maybe at Padden's. Have you heard of Padden's Western Wear, Padden's downtown
No.
Ruston?
No.
Okay. Padden's family, they're excellent. North Louisiana tradition since 2007. Dress to impress, rep tech, styles, brands for everyday life, job, game days, at any occasion, including the outdoorsman and you. We got to find time for you the next time, whether it's this setting after this interview or whenever you're back in the future, to get you by Padden's. They got great stuff. So maybe we can get some cookbooks on the counter there.
You know, I just came from Santa Fe.
Okay. How was that?
Take your wife to Santa Fe.
Okay.
You know what I did? I chartered a plane and took my horse trainer and his wife.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, we're going to go to Santa Fe. Go do what you got to do, change your clothes, what you got to do. I said, I got a plane. We're going to Santa Fe, and we're going to spend 3 hours walking that square, and we're going to buy turquoise, and we're going to go in all the stores and just walk down. We're going to go to the old church at the end of the street that's 300-400 years old. We're going to do that. We'll go by the boot store, and we'll have late lunch on the square with the fabulous food, and it's just the coolest little town. So we loaded up on the plane with 3 hours. You could pretty much do everything you want to do. O'Farrell's Hat Company,
Okay.
world famous hat stores right there. I went in and said hello to them, and crazy place, man. And I just wanted to go. I've always wanted to go.
Good for you. That's awesome.
So we just loaded up and went. It was a blast.
So we're cutting a promo on the Bradshaw family cookbook, but also Santa Fe. So make sure if you can make plans in your life to get to Santa Fe, okay, stamp of approval.
I got nothing in. I
one.
don't have anybody in that dance. It's just cool town.
Terry Bradshaw with his stamp of approval for Santa Fe. So the Tech family, we've gained so much from your presence, personality, continued graciousness. You led Tech to its first 2 bowl appearances. I want to take it back to your playing career now. 1968.
One of them I liked, one of them I didn't.
68 and 69. Which one didn't you? Remind
Well, the
folks.
second one I got sacked, 19 times?
Yeah, it was a lot.
I mean,
it was a lot.
I had no idea I got sacked that much. I mean, I was shocked. We played in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I think so.
The first one was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, in front of a packed house of 5,000. ABC. I'd always seen it on television. They back in the 60s, you put your helmet under your hand and you'd walk to the camera. Terry Bradshaw, quarterback, Woodlawn High School. Boom, away you go.
Yeah.
Number 12. I do that at Tech a lot. Howie and them get the biggest kick out of it. I'll do that sometimes. Just run out like I got my helmet on my hand. Howie just loves it when I do that. But yeah, our first bowl game was against, don't tell me, some team up north. It wasn't, who was it? It wasn't Youngstown.
You're challenging me now. You're testing my dome.
East Tennessee State was the second bowl game,
Okay.
I think. First one, Akron Zips.
Okay.
Akron. Yeah, Akron. Cold, winter day. And I don't know what the score was. We beat them.
Well, you owned virtually every passing record when you graduated from Tech.
But that didn't last long.
No, the game has changed. Okay, the game has evolved.
Rattay and that. But holy, what Tim throw for like 15,000 yards?
Yeah, he's the all-time leading passer. I know your time at Tech in Ruston and the legend that is Terry Bradshaw and your impact. But tell me about Mickey Slaughter, because I know you were very close with your coordinator.
Yeah, Mickey Slaughter. If Mickey Slaughter hadn't have come from hadn't come to Tech and and become the offensive coordinator, I mean, he figured me out. He knew what buttons to push. He knew how to handle me. Uh, it was heaven on earth having him as my coach. Taught me so much. I had bad games, but not according to him. You know, he always lifted me up, always encouraged me, always telling me how great I was, and wanted me to believe it as much as he believed it. And really, he coached confidence into me. Seriously, I remember starting the first game at the new stadium, and I was like 4 for 12. And I was sitting, we didn't have a dressing room. We sat in the hallway of the stadium on the backside because stadium wasn't really ready.
I think that's where my office might be right
now.
now.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Well, I sat there and I had this talk with myself. I said, man, what in the world is wrong with you? You're way better than this. And Mickey, don't worry about that. You'll smoke them in the second half, man. You're going to smoke them in the second half. This is what we're going to do. And I went out there and smoked him in the second half. And I never stopped smoking him. I mean, he was so amazing. He used to loan me his car to go dates. I'd run out of gas. One time he found his car in a ditch because I got to push it out of the road. It went into a ditch. Oh, man. And he had this thing. He had a saying when we were in practice. Because he had been E.J. Lewis, who was our defensive back coach. E.J. hated it when we went, 1 against 1. And I'd throw those bombs out there, and Mickey'd holler, measure it. EJ and them would just, they would look here, Kyle, boom, boom, boom. You stop it. You're killing my team. Measure it. Get again, bomber. Go after him again and go again, get in the call under the play. Measure it. Oh, my God.
That's awesome.
He was so good. So good to me. All throughout my career, Pittsburgh Steelers, stayed in touch with him, struggled up there. Mm-hmm. He flew on the plane with me to Pittsburgh when I went up to meet the press for the first time. I didn't know it, but he was being interviewed by Chuck Noll to be the offensive coordinator. And it didn't look. I don't know. Mickey and I were talking. I don't know if he didn't like it. He didn't want to be up there, but he did tell me later on that he told Chuck Noll, you ride him hard and you'll lose him. You ride him with love and you'll be amazed at the things this young man can do. Well, he rode me hard. And so I'd have to call Mickey and I'd tell Mickey what all was going on. And he was, he knew I was just devastated up there. Yeah. It was so hard, man. Yeah, so hard.
Yeah.
But Mickey Slaughter, hardest thing I had is speaking at his funeral. Oof, that was brutal. Hard to do.
Well,
good man.
I had heard nothing but great things, but hearing it from you and the impact he had, how encouraging he was.
He was. Kyle, you'd have loved it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You'd have loved him.
That's awesome. Your time at Pittsburgh did result in 4 Super Bowls, 3 in 4 years.
complaining.
First quarterback to do that. All 4 in a 6-year stretch.
Well, I was 4-0 in Super Bowls. I'll never brag on myself, but I was 4-0 in Super Bowls. I'd remind all those guys up on the desk. I said, let's get those Super Bowl rings out, boys. And when they pick on me, let's get the rings out. And I said, yours will stop rattling, and mine will just keep on going. Just keep on going, because I got more than they do. But I would say, I was 4-0. Montana came behind me, and Joe was 4-0, and then Tom Brady got 7. And so I remind everybody, but he lost 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. So
it's a similar argument I have as a Chicagoan in basketball when people try to make the Jordan-LeBron comparison. It's no comparison. No. Come on. Jordan 6-0. How many has LeBron lost?
Yeah.
Plus he's hopping teams. But I understand that's the age of where we're at with professional sports. Speaking of those Super Bowl trophies, there were some replica ones, your Hall of Fame rings, Super Bowl rings, a lot of memorabilia, jerseys, helmets, Hall of Fame bust, that you have given to Tech. Truly representative of, again, how impactful the university is.
Well, I did that, Kyle. I did that just this school. I want everybody to know, every young man that comes in here that's going to play football. Carl Malone went to Louisiana Tech. Come on, the mailman. Is there better power forward than Carl Malone? He went here. And I gave all that stuff. Number one, I got girls. Uh, they don't care anything about that stuff.
Yeah.
They're not being disrespectful to me. They, how you divvy it up? You don't. So I thought I'd give all that stuff to where it do the most good, and that would be here at Tech. So the athletes they're recruiting can walk by that glass and see all those rings and everything, and they can go, hey, if he can come here and accomplish all of that, so can I. And so and then now we got statues out front, which is dang cool. I love the statue.
So inspiring. The statue itself, unveiled in the north end zone a couple of years ago. I think it was September 2023, right. Champions Plaza. Is it true? I don't know how factual this story is. The image of your statue, was that based off of like a pose away from game action in a picture that was taken of you?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was.
That's great.
You know who took the picture? My brother.
Wow.
My brother. I stood still and picked my leg. It's not an action shot.
Yeah.
It's a pose shot.
Wow.
So,
that's so cool.
I like that. I like that a lot. I tell my brother, Gary, you remember when we went out and took that picture on the football piece? He said, that's what that is? I said, yeah, you took it with your camera. I needed an 8x12. People wanting autographs. And I didn't have an 8x12. So I just went out there and got him, and I just picked my leg up. Football.
You can't make this stuff
up.
No,
you can't.
You can't. Final few moments with Terry. You've been so gracious with your time. Thank you again for being with us. I want to bring it back to the Fox NFL Sunday desk here. And you've done so much in your life. I just learned, thanks to Jamie behind me, my daughter's mother, that you might be the only pro sports athlete with a Hollywood star. I mean, musician, actor. I don't know if that's still accurate.
Only football player.
Only football player.
That I know of. There might be. I'm the only one.
Okay. Well,
I'm getting coached over your shoulder.
Yes, it's our show. Look, it's our show. Ryan Ivey,
even if it's not true, let's just go with it.
We'll go with it. So, actor, musician, peanut butter poster boy. At one point.
Peanut butter, man. I love my peanut butter.
Oh God, love peanut butter. The horsing enthusiast we talked about, raising the horses, and the Fox NFL Sunday role since the show's inception.
Right.
I
don't know.
94.
There you go.
94. So this is 31 years on the studio desk. You've been there since the beginning. A true staple. I think it was last year at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. You said you want to do it until you're 80. So I'm not asking you this particular question, but what is it that you love most about that role that continues to give you this energy, this enthusiasm?
I love doing television. And I love the NFL. I love college football. I watch a lot of college football. I love pro football. I watch as much of it as I can. I never get tired of it. My wife, thank God, we got 2 TVs because I'm in the living room watching Thursday night, Monday night. She goes to the bedroom, puts on, whatever she wants to watch. And if the Chiefs are playing, she'll come sit down and watch it with me. She's a Chiefs fan. But I just love football. I mean, I love talking about it. I marvel at the gifts that these kids have nowadays. The transition of the game, the quarterback position especially, to so many African American quarterbacks now, which is, super cool, because when I played, black quarterbacks couldn't get a sniff at playing in the NFL. So I'm happy to see that. And we're seeing kids now that can run like a deer, throw howitzers. It's just really, and it's so fast, and they're so big, Kyle. They're so big. Golly. I remember standing on the sideline in Green Bay with Howie, and we're watching everybody warm up, and I said, Howie, look how big these guys are. Howie said, can you believe we played this? I said, I don't remember seeing, the only guy I remember being that big is Buck Buchanan. was the Chiefs defensive end. He was huge. So I'm amazed at the size of them and how athletic they are. You know, it's fun to watch. I enjoy it.
Well, whenever that day comes.
Oh, it's coming soon.
Whenever it comes, we're all going to feel lost without you on
Well,
Sundays.
I wanted to go to the Super. I wanted to finish my career with the Super Bowl with Fox, but I don't have that say. And so what I've done, since I haven't got as you and I are sitting here talking, I haven't gotten a commitment as whether or not they're going to keep me on past next year. And so I plan on next year being my last year. And so I've already set in motion converting all my stallions, bringing more stallions in from outside other than our personal stallions. Also turning my training center over. I've started letting my trainer train outside horses, and eventually by next year he'll take over all the training and the studs I'll keep the stud business going, and I'll keep probably 10 great brood mares, and I'll keep 4 of my stallions, and the rest I'll shut it down, because quite honestly, I didn't know I like to travel as much as I do. Mm-hmm. I don't get to go that much, and
you can go to Santa Fe more.
I know. Well, no, but I want to do a little bit more of that, while I still can.
Sure.
Had a couple of bouts of cancer.
We feel good though.
Yeah, I
You're
do.
feeling great.
I just finished another, checkup, and so I'm good there. But it's kind of like, people say, "Well, I defeated, I beat cancer." Well, I may not be showing, but I don't think, as a cancer survivor, I don't think like that, because if you had it once, can't you have it twice? And it's kind of a scary thing. So I want to do some things. I want to go to church on Sunday. I miss going to church on Sunday. So it's important to me. And so I think one more year, I'll be 78. Good Lord keeps me in good health. I'll be able to I love public speaking. I love singing. I'd like to do, just do Terry stuff for 12 months.
Sure. Well, we're all incredibly grateful that you've carved out the time here today.
You know what I might do, man? I might just come sit over here with you and do games with you.
I would love that. Teddy Allen, my current analyst.
Yeah. Well, you tell him to slide down one.
He's a.
We'll do 2. Hey, we'll be 3 in the booth, man.
We're gonna cut that, send it. We're gonna play that tomorrow night, or at our next game. But here's the thing about Teddy. He told me, tell Terry I said hi. He may not remember exactly who he is, but he's a Hall of Fame journalist in the state. He used to get notes from your mother about things he had written, because he's been a long-time journalist in the state of Louisiana. So he said, you tell Terry I loved his mother, appreciated so much her support. And then Benny Thornell is my statistician in the booth. He's in the booth for home games. Wow. So we'd love to have you in anytime. There'll always be a chair open for you.
Yeah, I love doing games. I tell you, doing a football game, there's nothing more fun than doing a football game.
Yeah.
Seeing it.
Right.
Kind of get a feel for it, start sensing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's a good job you got, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So many thanks to Origin Bank, the Davisons for making all this possible too. The Bradshaw Family Cookbook available major retailers. The book signing will be Tuesday, November 25th, 3 to 5 p.m. at Origin Bank in downtown Ruston. Again, get that if you haven't already ordered it online while watching or listening to this podcast. Perfect for football, holidays, all occasions. We'll help you out. I think folks will support it. Terry, thank you. This has been great, man.
Kyle, a pleasure, brother. We'll do it again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For Louisiana Tech legendary quarterback Terry Bradshaw, I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, Kyle Schasberger. We'll catch you next time on Tech Drive.